Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. As the 2024 MotoGP season draws to its thrilling conclusion, legendary rider Giacomo Agostini shares his insights into the current championship and compares it to past rivalries, including the iconic battles between Valentino Rossi and Marc Márquez. Agostini also offers his thoughts on Marquez's style and the mental game of title contenders Martin and Bagnaia. Let's take a look. The 2024 MotoGP season is building up to an electrifying finale, and Sepang's recent race was a perfect showcase of this year's intense championship fight. In Malaysia, Jorge Martin and Pecco went head-to-head with a thrilling exchange of overtakes, while Marc Márquez lurked just behind them, ready to pounce. Martin opened up about his approach to this battle and the unnerving experience of having Márquez on his tail. Let's dive into the details. Fabio Quartararo recently shared insights into Yamaha's recent strides in performance, spotlighting a new electronic setup that grants riders more throttle control. With Yamaha's latest improvements, Quartararo achieved a top 5 sprint finish at the Malaysian Grand Prix, and he's optimistic about the team's progress as they look toward 2025. The 2024 MotoGP Championship is on the line, with Ducati teammates Jorge Martin and Francesco Bagnaia preparing for a final showdown in Barcelona. While both riders are armed with the Ducati GP24, subtle differences in their setups and support structures might play a key role in determining the season's outcome. Let's take a closer look. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. With only one race left in 2024, the MotoGP title race is tighter than ever, with Martin leading Bagnaia by just 24 points. Giacomo Agostini, a 15-time world champion, is no stranger to close battles and recalls similar rivalries from his own time. He draws parallels between the current showdown and his own legendary duel with Mike Hailwood in the 1960s. These are battles that always excite the fans. Similar, but at the same time very different, to those between Marquez and Rossi or mine with Mike Hailwood. Mamma mia, mine were very complicated because he was very fast. I needed to bring out my best version to beat him. Quote from Giacomo Agostini. Agostini expressed great admiration for both Marc Márquez and Valentino Rossi, two of the sport's biggest stars. While he has a special affection for Marquez, describing him as a rider who excites the crowd, Agostini also lauded Rossi's achievements. Marc is my weakness, because I think he excites the public. He is a guy who puts on a show, and everyone loves him. Rossi a great one. Someone who wins 9 world titles has to be really good. The rivalry between Rossi and Marquez remains one of the most talked about in MotoGP history. Agostini offers his perspective, acknowledging that their age difference may have influenced their battles, but ultimately, he sees Marquez as the more reckless and daring of the two. Marc is more reckless, bold, daring. He is a fighter, and perhaps people like that more. Marc never gives up, it is pure spectacle. Agostini also delved into the mental side of the championship battle, offering his views on how Martin and Bagnaia are handling the pressure. He suggests that Bagnaia has an advantage in terms of experience, but Martin's impulsiveness could lead to unpredictable moments. Self-control will be key for both of them to manage the tension. You can't fail anymore, and Bagnaia has a bit of an advantage here. He has won twice and has experienced this type of tension. Martin is more impulsive, while Pecco is more reflective, Agostini concluded. As the 2024 season heads into its final race, the insights of legends like Giacomo Agostini offer a fascinating perspective on the current state of MotoGP. Whether it's the battle for the title or the ongoing legacies of Rossi and Marquez, MotoGP continues to thrill fans with its mix of spectacle, strategy, and heart-stopping action. Stay tuned for what promises to be an unforgettable conclusion to the season. The Sepang Grand Prix delivered one of the season's most exciting battles as Jorge Martin and Pecco fought for dominance in the early laps. With a total of 16 overtakes, the two contenders pushed each other to the limit. Martin later reflected on this battle, admitting he had to rein himself in to avoid unnecessary risks. It was a nice race, I enjoyed it a lot. A nice battle with Pecco. I tried to follow him closely, but that meant too many risks for me, so I said, okay, Jorge, let him go. I tried to give a little more today, but it was impossible, we had to be conservative. Quote from Jorge Martin. As Martin and Bagnaia clashed for the lead, Marc Márquez watched from third place, ready to seize any opportunity. For Martin, the thought of Marquez behind him added a unique level of pressure. He admitted that Marquez's aggressive style made him anxious, especially given Marquez's determination and willingness to take risks. When I had Marquez behind me, I was scared, less. Having him behind me is a big risk, and when he crashed, I felt much more relieved. With the season title on the line, Martin revealed that he had to balance aggression with caution, ultimately choosing to secure the 20 points for second place rather than risk it all in pursuit of Bagnaia. He acknowledged that this decision was critical to keeping his championship hopes alive. It's a mental job. I tried to follow him, but I thought about stopping because I could fall. In the end, I decided to stay there. We have to think about the points. We will work hard for Malaysia, but we want to understand why Pecco is a bit stronger. Martin concluded. With just one race remaining at Malaysia, the 2024 MotoGP Championship has reached fever pitch. Jorge Martin leads heading into the final showdown, but Pecco Bagnaia is still in contention for his third consecutive world title. It's all or nothing as they prepare for the final battle. Stay tuned as MotoGP's intense season comes to an exciting climax. At Sepang, Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins, both Yamaha factory racing riders, showcased newfound pace, each cracking the top 10 on the grid for the first time this season. Quartararo attributes this uptick to Yamaha's updated electronics, which allow him to control the bike more directly, calling it a significant leap forward. Now I am much more in charge of traction control. We have made big changes to the electronics. Quote from Fabio Quartararo. Quartararo even likened the new setup to the challenge of riding a classic 500 cubic centimeters bike, explaining that while it requires a lot more effort, the payoff in performance is worth it. Alex Rins, Quartararo's teammate, echoed similar sentiments after his best finish of the season, where he placed 8th. Rins noted that he could handle the bike's power better, a style he honed back in his Suzuki days. I have the bike a bit more in my hand, controlling the slide more and lifting the bike when it's turning. It's been quite nice. Quote from Alex Rins. While Quartararo couldn't use Yamaha's new engine due to a breakdown in practice, Rins was able to experience its potential, commenting on the engine's improvement in electronic functionality. Reflecting on the Asian leg of the tour, Quartararo pointed out steady gains at tracks like Mandalika and Sepang, even highlighting the strong pace Yamaha showed in mixed conditions in Thailand. He's optimistic about Yamaha's potential and eagerly anticipates the off-season test set to take place at Malaysia. Barcelona is a great choice for the test. It has been a very hard track for us in the last 2 years. The grip is very low, and that has been our weakest point. The test there will be quite good for us. Quote from Fabio Quartararo. As Yamaha continues to refine its M1 machinery and aims for more substantial improvements in Barcelona, Quartararo believes these recent advancements can place Yamaha in a better position for the 2025 season. The momentum looks promising for Quartararo and Yamaha as they close out the season and prepare for a pivotal off-season test at Malaysia. Ducati has enjoyed a historic season, winning 18 of the 19 races held so far, securing victories in all major championships. For 2024, the manufacturer has been careful to provide both Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia with equal equipment, ending mid-season GP24 development to keep the playing field level. However, there are still differences between their setups based on personal preferences. According to TNT Sports' Michael Laverty, Bagnaia and Martin's GP24 bikes have minor, yet significant, variations in suspension. Bagnaia prefers an older fork design with a shorter stroke and less tube exposed at the top, a setup he reverted to at the Spanish GP and hasn't altered since. Pecco prefers the older fork, showing a lot less tube. Jorge, by contrast, runs about 45 mm of tube on show, which reflects each rider's preferred geometry and balance. Quote from Michael Laverty. While there are differences in suspension, both riders use an identical aerodynamic package, selecting the version with downwash ducts to enhance performance. Additionally, both Martin and Bagnaia's bikes have the same engine, ECU, and electronics setup as required by MotoGP regulations. This leaves rider preference and mechanical support as the primary factors separating the two contenders. Engine ECU. It's the same for every team up and down the pit lane. Aero body is identical. Both Pecco and Jorge choose the similar version with the downwash ducts. One area where Bagnaia might hold an advantage is engineering support. Laverty noted that Ducati's factory team has a larger, more comprehensive engineering crew compared to the independent Pramac team that Martin rides for. This allows Bagnaia's side to analyze more data channels, gaining deeper insights into the bike's performance. The main difference comes when the engineers plug in. At factory level, there can be 10 to 20 Ducati engineers cross-referencing data points, which gives a slight edge when it comes to fine-tuning settings. Laverty concluded. As Martin and Bagnaia prepare for the title-deciding race in Barcelona, these small mechanical differences and Ducati's engineering support could play a critical role. With only 24 points separating them, every advantage counts in the pursuit of MotoGP glory. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video.